Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how to do tubular peyote stitch. Now today I'm going to use a big eye needle, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The eye runs the length of the entire needle, so it's extremely easy to thread. And here I have my thread, which is, today I'm using black Wildfire, and that's just to show you the thread path. But normally you would choose either crystal clear or the same color as your beads, so the thread does not show. So to use your big eye needle, you simply open it, thread just maybe 3 inches of your thread through, and pull it down into the crevice there, and it's not going anywhere. Very handy. So onto my thread, I'm going to thread an even amount of seed beads, or like in this case, I've got Delicas. And I have 2 different colors of Delicas, so you can see the pattern form. Today I'm going to do 10. So I'm going to do alternating colors until I have 10 beads on my thread. Once you have 10 beads on your thread, move them down to the end until you have about a, let's say, 6 to 8 inch tail. Now you're going to create a circle. You're going to bring your needle going in the same direction through the first 2 beads. You're going to pull your thread tight until your circle is formed. Now to begin tubular peyote, what I like to do is have something round so I can stitch around and keep the tubular shape. So I kind of collect an assortment of straws, but you can also use pens or pencils or dowels or anything that you find that's tubular in shape that fits the stitch that you are doing. So I'm going to slide this onto my smallest straw, although this will get a little bit larger once you start adding beads. So this, I might have to switch straws. I'm going to hold on to the tail of my thread with my non-dominant hand. And as you can see, the thread is coming out of this Chartreuse bead right here. So the next bead in line is this reddish color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up another one of these red beads. I'm going to skip over this iridescent red bead, and I'm going to go through the next Chartreuse bead in line. I'm going to pull tight, and what that does, as you can see, the red bead that I just added is on top of the previous red bead. So now, once more, my thread's coming out of the next Chartreuse bead in line, and once again, I'm going to pick up, I'm calling these red, they're really not red, they're iridescent, but let's just refer to them as red. Pick up another red bead, skip the next red bead in the row, and go through the next Chartreuse bead. So as you can see, there's already a pattern emerging with the red beads stacked on top of one another, and your thread coming out of every other bead, which happens to be a Chartreuse bead. So I'm going to continue doing this. Now here is where your tube is going to start getting longer. In normal flat peyote, you go back and forth. In tubular peyote, you just go up. So to climb up the ladder, you have to step up or add a bead. And right now I'm going through the final Chartreuse bead in the row. pull tight. And now I need to step up, so I'm going to go through the next red bead. Now I'm at the next row. And now my thread is coming out of a red bead, so I need to stack another chartreuse bead on top of that original chartreuse. So I'm going to pick up one of these chartreuse beads and go through the next red bead. I'm going to make sure that my thread is not getting caught. And as you can see, that fits right into place right there. I'm going to go around the circle the same way, picking up chartreuse beads and going through the following red bead, all the way around the circle. Now I've come back to the beginning of the circle, and as you can see, I'm going to step up through the red bead and through the next chartreuse bead. Now I'm back to adding red beads and going through each chartreuse bead. And once you have somewhat of a tube going, you can remove your straw or whatever else you're using and continue stitching. So that's tubular peyote. And as you become more proficient, you can do many things with this stitch, including using different colors and different sizes of beads. Or you can do this kind of a stitch, which is called Cellini spiral, which I will teach you in an upcoming video. And it's the same exact stitch, believe it or not. It's just using various sizes of beads to acquire a neat spiral look. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and have fun with this stitch.